Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. As you can see, a very different look on me today. But today I thought I would do for you a kind of product testing because I've done a little bit of shopping. So it's a bit of a mini haul and try on of some new products that I got, which I will show you in a second. But also a tutorial of a super glowy, super natural looking 10-minute makeup look, perfect for every day with minimal makeup products and especially with no foundation for those of you who like a lighter coverage but still want to look nice and polished every day. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. But before that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you already haven't. I upload twice a week and I would love to have you back on the channel. Okay guys, so I did a little bit of shopping when I was out last week and I got a few new products and I wanted to show you how they look on the screen, try them on with you and also show you what I got. So firstly, I'll tell you what I got. I got this primer from Charlotte Tilbury, which is the Brightening Youth Glow Anti-Aging Color Correcting Glow Booster, which I was super excited to try out. It's meant to be kind of glowing and add a bit of sheen but also act as a primer. Then I repurchased my Healthy Summer Glow, which I had run out of, and to be honest, I hadn't repurchased, but I really miss it because this is great for every day when you don't want to wear foundation. I also purchased a little while ago, but I don't know if I've shown you in a tutorial before, the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel, and this is amazing for when you want supernatural brows, but you still want them to look fuller. And then I ran out of my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and I got this Becca one, which is new. And this is also like a brightening powder, same sort of idea as the Laura Mercier one, but I'm excited to try this one out. And finally, I got this Lip Glow Lip Balm, which I've spoken about before. I haven't really used it all that much, but it's the one from Dior and it's absolutely amazing. It's like a coral lip balm. It's really hydrating, but it also at the same time adds a little bit of color to your lips. And so using all these products, I thought I would do for you this look that I have on my face right now, which is a minimal makeup look with no foundation, perfect for every day, and should take no longer than 10 minutes. And I'm only using 10 products in total, that's including lip lines and everything, which for me is an absolute miracle to use only 10 things. So if you want to find out how I got the look, keep watching. So I've already prepped my face and I've actually moisturized using Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream, and I've also used my Triple Eye Remedy, which I'm absolutely loving, from First Aid Beauty as my eye cream, and that's already brightened my eye area a lot because it has a little bit of a tint to it. So I would definitely suggest, because we're not going to be using any foundation, it would be good to use anything that's kind of a little bit tinted if you can, especially if you have a lot of darkness underneath your eyes like I do. So I'm firstly going to go in with this new product which I got from Charlotte Tilbury, which I was so excited to try out. It is the Brightening Youth Glow Anti-Aging Color Correcting Glow Booster. So it's a sort of primer, but it's supposed to give you a very beautiful glow. And I have got to admit, I have used it before and it leaves you a flawless finish. It works amazing with foundation, it minimizes your pores and it gives you a beautiful kind of glow, but it doesn't make you kind of shiny. It just leaves your skin looking very kind of supple and hydrated and beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead with this and I'm just going to kind of dot it all over my face. I'm going to apply a pretty thin layer, but I'm actually going to take it underneath my eyes as well because it really brightens that area and it helps to make my under eye darkness seem less apparent. So as you can see, it's quite pearly already, and it's very light. The texture is super light. And it just kind of sinks into your skin immediately. My skin is very sensitive and it hasn't made it flare up or anything. It doesn't make it flaky at all, and it doesn't feel sort of silicone-y in the least. It just feels like a very light moisturizer, very milky, and it literally just absorbs in seconds. So I don't know how well the camera's picking that up, but it has left my skin looking very glowy and a little bit more even. It doesn't have any coverage, but it just kind of makes your skin look a little bit more even. And if you leave it on for like 3-4 seconds, it just looks even more and more even as time goes by. I'm now going to go in with the Unisex Healthy Glow, and this is like a glowing, I repurchased this one, that's why it is in this haul, but this is like a glowing sort of color corrector. It just makes your skin like, it just meshes into the same color that you have on your skin, but it just makes it like a better shade, like a bit more bronze. And I just find it's really good to just even out your skin tone. You could probably use this one without using this one first, but because I was doing this haul video, I want to show you all the new products I got, and I want to show you this one, which I've absolutely been loving. As you can see, I've had it on for a bit more, and it's kind of toned down the redness I had around here, and my skin looks a lot more even and silky. But if you're doing a very quick foundation routine, you could probably skip this one. So this one I'm going to shake it a little bit, and I have shown you this one before, but it comes out like a sort of white cream. It's a little bit gritty, but when you rub it into your skin, it just becomes a sort of bronzy shade, and you don't need a huge amount. With this pump, I can probably do half my face, and I'm going to take it underneath my eyes as well. So can you see that without adding any coverage, this side of my face looks a lot more bronzy, more glowy, more even than this side that doesn't have the product on. I'm not going to do the same, and you need to rub it on in circular motions because that's how the color comes out. And now just to add a little bit of coverage, just because I have a lot of under eye darkness, I'm just going to add a little bit of this Tarte concealer, which is super full coverage. I'm just going to use this onto the areas where I have a little bit of blemishes, to the center of my nose where I've got kind of a few blackheads, center of my chin, center of my forehead, and a little bit around here where I've got some pigmentation. And with this one, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going to now pat it in with fingers to blend it out. Now to finish blending out the product, I'm going to go in with this buffer brush, and I'm just going to take this over the top just to blend out the edges of the concealer. On my under eye area, I want to leave it with the patting of my fingers because that leaves a lot more full coverage than if I go over it with the brush. But on these areas, I want to just blend out the outside so it just kind of looks seamless, and you don't have like a kind of boundary between the concealer and the bits that don't have concealer. And just sort of stippling the product in. I'm going to drag it a little bit over my eyelids just to even out the colour as well. And then just to go in with a damp beauty blender just to finish blending everything out. Just going to literally pat this on my skin. So as you can see, that has massively evened out my skin tone without using foundation. You know, I've literally just added the coverage where I needed it and then just blended it out with this, which obviously kind of leaves a little bit of residue on the rest of your face. So it's literally evened out my skin tone, but you can definitely still see the texture of my skin, and it's still kind of, you can see my skin through it. It doesn't look very heavy. Then, because I can't leave the house without contour, I'm going to go in with the Hollywood contour one just to add a little bit of shape to my face. And I love this one because it's so easy to apply. You just squeeze out a little bit from the tube, and then I'm just going to apply a little bit underneath my cheekbones, on my jawline, and on my forehead and on my nose. This is literally just going to bring a bit of color back into my face. It's going to help bronze it up. And it's also going to add a little bit of definition. I'm going to go in with the Hollywood contour brush and just blend this out. And then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender just to finish blending the product out. I'm going to take it down my neck a little bit just to kind of hide that double chin. I'm now going to go in just to seal everything into place with this Becca powder, which I got as well. I'm just going to take this brush and I'm literally just going to dab the powder and just press it on. This is like an illuminating powder, so I'm only going to use it to set where I applied concealer. And I really like this one compared to the Laura Mercier one because I find this one has no flashback, and that one, although it was amazing, it had a bit of flashback. And this one is even more finely milled, so it's absolutely seamless. You don't look like you're wearing any powder at all. also going to apply a little bit to the tops of my eyelids. I'm literally just applying like the tiniest amount. And I'm patting it in more than just kind of sliding it so that the concealer doesn't move. With whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going to go over the rest of my face, just sort of patting it on, just because I have very oily skin and I don't want to get shiny. I'm then going to go in with this Charlotte Tilbury palette, and this is the Instant Look in a palette, and I love this one because it has everything in one. I'm going to go in with the bronzer, just to go over the area to set where I did my cream contour. And as Charlotte Tilbury would say, follow the hollow. I'm just kind of gonna put this underneath my cheekbones. It's gonna warm up. This one's great because it has like a bit of cool and warm tones, so it sort of acts as a bronzer, as a contour. I'm gonna put a little bit along my jawline, just basically wherever I put the cream contour, just to set it in place. And using a fluffy eyeshadow brush, I'm just gonna take this down the sides of my nose, just to set in place the contour I applied there earlier. And I'm just going to use my beauty blender just to blend this out. I'm then going to take a mix of the two blush colours just to add a little bit of blush. And as you can see, I'm literally using the same brush to do everything. And I'm then going to take a fan brush and just pop it into the highlighter shade and just add this to the top of my cheekbones, top of my brow bone, down the center of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and above my brows. And then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush just to blend everything out, make sure it looks really kind of seamless. Okay, now taking a fluffy eyeshadow brush I used earlier, I'm just going to dip it into this shade, which is like a sort of shimmery shade, and I'm literally just going to add a wash of colour all over my lid, taking it all the way up to the brow and into the tear duct as well. And if you're not keen on eyeshadow, you can literally skip this, but I just like my eyes to look like they've got a little something. And then I'm going to take this shade here, which is like neutral sort of contour brown colour, but you can literally take your bronzer as well if you don't have this palette. And I'm just going to pop this on to my crease just to add a little bit of definition to my eyes. If you don't want to go into an eyeshadow, literally you can do this with your bronzer and your highlighter. Just use your highlighter all over your lid and then just pop in the bronzer onto your crease. And I'm always dragging the shadow out because that makes your eyes look a little bit bigger, so you always want to drag it out all the way. I'm just literally using windsweep wiper motions. I'm also going to take a little bit of this colour just with the same brush underneath my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with this Charlotte Tilbury brown pencil. This is in the colour Audrey. And I'm just going to pop this on my lower waterline and my upper waterline, just to make my eyelashes look a little bit thicker. And while I let that set, I'm going to add a little bit of this Tom Ford fiber brow gel just to make my brows look a little bit thicker and a little bit more tamed. My brows are naturally quite thin and quite sparse, so I'm just using this to kind of fill in the gaps and make them look a little bit thicker. This one is a tinted one and I have the colour Taupe, but they do have a few different ones and I absolutely love this one. This one is also something new I purchased, and yeah, it just leaves your brows looking so thick but yet so natural. I'm going to go ahead with my beauty blender and just clean it wherever it's kind of come out. And because my brows are quite sparse, I'm just going to use the same pencil I used to line my eyes and just sort of fill in any areas where they need a little bit more help. So I just need to extend them a little bit here at the front. But I'm literally using the lightest hand ever. And with a clear spoolie, I'm just going to brush them through just so that the pencil looks very, very natural. And then I'm gonna go back with my beauty blender and just wipe it. I'm then gonna go ahead and curl my lashes just to give them a good lift. This is really gonna make you look very awake. And then I'm gonna go in with my Better Than Sex mascara, which is like super volumizing, just to make my lashes look a little bit more prominent, given I've not added kind of very much to my eyes. For my eyes, I'm gonna use 2 coats of the mascara, just because I wanna give them lots of volume. I'm then gonna go in with a clean brush just to clean the mascara that's been left on my lids, but you can literally do this with a Q-tip, it's just that I don't have any. So I'm just gonna kind of clean it up, or more like smudge it out with this clean brush. This has no product on it whatsoever. And I quite like smudging it on because it looks like you've applied a little bit of liner. So as you can see, just by smudging the mascara, it just like looks like I've got a bit of liner on. I've just kind of dragged it out just to elongate my eyes, but I've not added any more product on the top. And finally, for lips, I want to do something really natural because I want to use that Lip Glow lip balm that I got from Dior. So I'm just going to be applying a little bit of the Victoria lip liner, just to kind of define the outline of my lips a little bit and overline them slightly. This one is the one that I have that's more similar to my lip color. And I want to fill in the corner of my lips. And then what I'm going to do is go in with my fingers and just smudge this so that it looks really natural. And then I'm going to go in with my Dior Lip Glow. This one is in the color Coral. That's the color. And literally, this is a lip balm, so it's so easy to apply. But you can obviously go in with a lip gloss or a lipstick if you prefer that. I'll go and put my hair down so you can see the final look, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay guys, well this is the final look. It's a very sort of glowy makeup tutorial, very natural looking skin. Obviously you're not wearing any foundation, so your skin is definitely showing through. Very, very quick to do. I was obviously filming, so it took a bit longer, but it definitely, for me to do this look, it doesn't take any longer than 10 minutes max. And if you want to take off the eyeshadow, you can do that as well. I like a little bit of definition, so if I didn't have the eyeshadow, I would use highlighter and contour like I said, but you can skip that step if you want to, and then it would probably take under 10 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, something a bit different for me. A lot of you guys have been requesting a lighter makeup look, so I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know in the comments below what you thought and whether you tried it out, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!